So the font shown in the whiteboard, is it okay? The font shown in the whiteboard, is it okay? Is it readable, clear, so that I can follow writing like this?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. So yesterday we were talking about some classifications. So in that case, we have discussed two classifications. Number one was the equilibrium problem, and second one was marching problem. Okay. So now suppose we have this uh, alpha del square t equals to 0, and we have some boundary conditions or some conditions as a function of time. Some values can be there as a function of time. So which type of problem is this? This is the problem one. For example, we need this as a problem one. So what type of problem is this? What type of problem is this? Is it an equilibrium problem or marching problem? So I
Marching.
can see. Oh, okay. Who is saying marching? Okay. This is not a marching problem. This is a equilibrium problem. Many of them are writing this answer here. Suppose we have another problem, problem 2, and we have this term del t del x equals to say some coefficient and del square t del x plus the boundary condition and some function. Which problem is this? Type of problem is this? What type of problem is this? What type of problem is this? Okay. So I can read the answers. Okay. So some have already mentioned that it is an equilibrium problem, and some are mentioning that. Okay. So basically, this is a marching problem. Okay. So many of you are saying that there is no time derivative. Okay, but you see here, x variable acts like a time variable. Okay, so this x acts here x acts like a time-like variable. Acts like a time variable. Okay. Here there is no time derivative or there is no time-like variable in the equation. Okay. That is the reason we say that these are equilibrium problems. Equilibrium problems doesn't mean that they are steady state problems. Okay, it doesn't mean that they are time independent problems. Okay? So not steady state problems. Equilibriums are not steady state problems. Okay? Not steady state problems. We must remember this. Not steady state. Okay, we can have some. For example, we can have function of time. Say alpha del square t. Now here we can have some function t which can be a function of x, y, z and time. There is no derivative. There is no independent variable which is acting like a time-like variable, or which can show you the direction of the movement. So this problem here you have a t as a function of time, but to this equation again is a this is a problem. Then this problem is equilibrium problem. Okay. So basically, equilibrium problem and marching problems, they are identified on the basis of nature of PD. Okay. So nature of PD or type of PD. Nature, or I would like to say type of PD. And in this case, what is the type of the PD generally represented by equilibrium problem? Are PDs called as elliptic PD. Elliptic PD. Okay. We'll see what does it mean by elliptic PD. And here the type of PDs or types of PDs are parabolic, parabolic or hyperbolic. Or hyperbolic PD. Okay. So it is the type of the PD. On that basis, on you can identify whether it is equilibrium problem or it is the marching problem. Okay. So let us see now what are the elliptical PDs, parabolic PDs, and hyperbolic PDs. So basically, to consider to classify PDEs, we will consider a generalized second order PD. Second second order PD. Why second order PD? Because most of our Navier-Stokes equations we have seen that they are of second order type. So we are concerned about classifications of the second order PDEs, which are nothing but we see that is a Navier-Stokes equation, and we are interested in Navier-Stokes equation or similar type of. So most of the PDEs are second order. So second order PD. Okay. So the generalized form of the PD is A del to some variable phi del x square plus b del 2 phi del x del y plus c del 2 phi del y2 plus d del phi del x plus d del phi del y is equals to 0. Okay, so this is what the equation. So this equation is similar to the equation which you have considered in case of the planes. Okay, so where we have defined this, like elliptical equations, parabolic equations, a parabola, hyperbola. Okay, these things we have already done in your previous courses. Okay. So on the similar line, we will classify this PD into these different classifications. Okay. So that is what we are intended to do here. So and you can say you have some other constant. So The classification is done on the basis of this term. The classification is done on the basis of b square minus 4 times a and c. So it is based on the coefficients. Okay. Now here you see, suppose this coefficients, this can be a linear PD or non-linear PD. Okay. Based on the coefficient A, if coefficient is just a function of x and y, then it is just constant. So it doesn't give any non-linear. Okay. If x is a function of 5, okay, along with x, y, g, then the equation becomes non-linear. So any coefficient, suppose a becomes a function of 5 and b, c, d, e, f are not functions of 5. 5 means this dependent variable, then the equation still is non-linear. Okay. So this b square minus 4ac, suppose if this b square minus 4ac, if b square minus 4 times ac is less than 0, then this problem is called as elliptic. Elliptic PD. Okay. Yeah. So this is not an equation of plane. So not this is now not an equation of plane. Now this is a PD. Okay. So you can't say ellipse now. Now this is called as elliptic PD. Okay. Elliptic. If b square minus 4ac is equals to 0, then it is called as parabolic. Parabolic PD. Okay. And third condition, b square minus 4 times a 4 times ac greater than 0, then it is called as hyperbolic. Okay. So this is the way we do the classification. Okay. So say we have this equation. Okay. For example, what is the type of PD? What is the type of PDE? Okay, please answer. Please try to answer. Okay. So whenever you're answering, you have to do this also. B square minus 4ac. You try to do the b square minus 4ac thing and try to get on your own that the equations are elliptic or parabolic or things like that. And the PD we have considered second order 2D PD. Okay, second order 2D PD. We can consider 3D also, but it is just for the sake of classification. For 3D also, you can do classification on the similar basis. So this is so A is 1, B is 0, C is 1. So that is negative, so less than 0. Okay. So since b square minus 4ac less than 0, it implies that the PDE is an elliptic PD. Okay. Similarly, you should be able to identify any other equation into its particular category. So now we'll see different examples of different classes in this. Okay. So first we will start with hyperbolic bolic 3D. Okay. Before that, I would like to mention you something that why do we need the classification of the field? Okay. So I'll just erase this. Why do we need a classification of some of you are saying that different methods are there to solve. Okay. Mm, some are saying that we need to identify marching problem and equilibrium problem. So there is an interesting thing. Okay, why do we need? We need to know what type of solution. In CFD, you now came to know that there are no experimental, some cases there are no experimental data, and you would like to have a belief on our CFD results. Okay. So when you do not know the expected results, how do you understand that the results are like expected? Okay, so that expectations are based on the type of the equation. Okay, a particular type of equation will show you the particular type of the solution. If So that will be some sort of instructive. Okay. So first thing is we get to know the type of solution. Okay. So first thing we need to know after you classify, we need to know type of solution. Not a what type of problem, not which method to be used, okay, but what type of solution will be, okay, whether the solution will be diffusing, whether the solution will be equilibrium type, or whether the solution will be a wave type. Okay, so there will be different types of wave type solution, wave like solution, wave like wave like solution. There can be another solution, a diffusive solution. Diffusive solution. There can be other solution that is called as equilibrium type solution. Equilibrium solution. So we get to know what type of solution that particular PD will give. Suppose it is an elliptic PD, what type of solution it will give. If it is a parabolic PD, what type of solution it will give. And hyperbolic, like that. Okay. Second thing is we know where and which type of boundary condition to be. Okay. Where to apply boundary condition. And what type of boundary condition and what type of boundary condition, what type of boundary condition. Okay. So depending on the particular type of problem, we need to specify certain boundary conditions. So there is a restriction on that. Okay. If it is elliptical problem, there is a particular ways. You need that those boundary conditions. Then only that type of PD will be solvable. If it is a hyperbolic, then you will have to specify that particular kind of constraint or boundary condition so that you get the solution for that hyperbolic PD. So we get to know what type of solutions will be there. We get to know what type of where to apply boundary conditions and where not, and then what type of boundary conditions we apply. Okay. Why we are interested in the such classification is now understood, I guess. So we'll move on to first case, the hyperbolic case. Okay. So one archetypal equation or representative equation or a standard equation or a representative or generalized equation, you can not generalized but a particular second order wave equation. A second order wave equation. What is second order wave equation? So say this is a u wave speed, displacement, and this is now a is the wave speed del square u del x square is equals to g. Now, is this a hyperbolic PD? We can check by using b square minus d. Now, here the variables are in previous case, in 2D case, those two variables were x and y. Now, here variables are t and x. Okay. So, if you apply b square minus 4ac, we will get to know that this is a hyperbolic PD. Okay. Now suppose you have a del u by del t term, so you need an initial condition. Suppose for example the initial condition is given. Initial condition u is equals to u naught of x. Okay, and the domain is from some infinite domain to some infinite. Okay. Now over this domain, infinite domain, we don't have boundary condition. Uh, what is the solution? Suppose analytical solution. So solution of this analytical solution of this problem is u is equals to a u naught x plus at. This is a marching problem plus d u naught x minus a. Okay, so this is a general solution of with this boundary condition on this infinite domain for a second order derivative. And how does it look like? Suppose I want to plot that result. So say this is x domain, and this is running from minus infinity to plus infinity. And say we have uh, time axis. So we get characteristics. Okay, so solution will propagate in this direction. So we get characteristics like this. These are called as positive running characteristics. So these have a slope which is 1 by a. So we get positive running characteristics from one of the solution, and we get negative running, left running, right running, and left running. Left running characteristics. Okay, so there is no boundary here, so we get a solution like this. Okay, and suppose we bounded this, then we will have a boundaries here. Suppose we get a boundary, then we have to bound it. So then it will get binded by a dot. So we will be having, so at this line shows t is equals to 0 line. You can have any other time. You can have, suppose at t is equals to 0, the solution is, suppose this type of solution where some values vary. It is 0 in and some values vary, and then for some location it is 0 again. So the same solution will propagate at any other time also, but along with that characteristic, along that characteristic. Okay. the solution will propagate along that path. Suppose you have a finite domain, then in that case, your boundary condition will come here. You have initial condition here. Okay, like that, you will get. Okay. So you understand what I mean to say, and left running. Okay, so it will bounded by the domain. Okay. Now let us consider a 1D. We can write a 1D wave equation. This is a 2D second order, second order wave equation. We can write a 1D first order wave equation. So we can write first order wave equation as del u by del t is equals to a del u by del, where a is positive. So with this, and we have same conditions, then we can have for a unbounded domain. For unbounded domain, we'll get solutions, right running characteristics like this. Okay. So for unbounded, minus infinity, infinity, x, and this time. For a bounded domain, let me be little precise here. So here we'll have to, since this is the first order, we have a marching problem in the direction of time. Okay, so we have to march the problem in the direction of time, and we have to give at instant t is equals to 0. We have to give initial condition. Okay, so initial condition we have to give here wherever the characteristic, and that then we have along that characteristics will need, since this region is BC, left BC, and this is also a BC, which is, we can call right BC. So now you can have a boundary condition here, and you can move like this. You can have boundary condition here, you can have boundary condition here, but you cannot have boundary condition here. Okay. In hyperbolic problems, if you specify two boundary conditions here, okay, since initial condition is propagating in that direction, if you specify boundary condition here, since you already specified one condition here, it will be over specified. Okay, this will be the over specification of the boundary. So here you will have to have, here you will have to have, but you cannot have boundary condition at this point. This is very specific to the. Okay. So specific to the first order wave equation. Okay. So you can specify initial condition over all the domain x, over all the domain x, you have to specify some initial condition, and at any other one boundary, you need to specify boundary condition and the left boundary only. Okay, because this is right running, so solution is moving in the direction, right direction. So you cannot give boundary condition here and just say here. Suppose you have bound, you say that I will give boundary condition here and not here. It won't, because information is moving like this in this direction. So you have to give boundary conditions on the left, but not no boundary condition here. Okay. No DC. That you have to remember. Okay. Only inflow DC. Only inflow DC. Only inflow boundary conditions DC is used in hyperbolic series. Okay. So this is on the feed, how you represent boundary condition, and the slope of this curve characteristics is again 1 by 4. So you only specify, you have to specify initial conditions. Okay, number one, you have to specify initial condition. You have to specify initial condition. Number two, one boundary condition. Okay, that is inflow boundary condition for this case. Inflow boundary condition. Okay, inflow is one inflow is INFLO. Okay, there was some network issue connection. Okay, actually that network gone from that NITC. You have to again log in and enter password. So that time, lapsed. So because of that, there was stop. So we were here, right? We were on this. Then there was no connection. So one initial condition you need over all the X location. Okay, same initial condition at all X location has to be given. Okay, at all X location has to be given, and one inflow boundary condition, and no other boundary condition is required. If you specify other boundary condition, then it will become over specification. That will become over specification of the boundary condition, and you will not be able to get the solution. Okay. You will not be able to get the solution. And okay, so this is regarding the BC. This is regarding what type of BC, so, where we give the BC and what type of BC, inflow type of BC are needed, and where do we give boundary condition at only one location, okay, at inlet, and initial condition at t is equals to 0, and then we march in time-like direction, in time direction. Okay, we march in time, but no boundary condition at the other thing. Okay, right boundary. The solution to such a problem is called as wave-like solution. Okay, wave-like solution. Okay. What does it mean by wave-like solution? Suppose you have given a sinusoidal wave here as your initial condition. At any other time, that sinusoidal wave will propagate. So you get a wave-like solution. It appears like a movie. Okay. So at any time, say here at this time, you will get the solution. So this initial condition is moving in this direction. Okay, it is moving in this direction. So it is like a wave. Wave is moving. So that is how it is called as a wave-like solution. Okay, so solution is a wave-like solution for hyperbolic. Next we will look at next category, parabolic. Parabolic wave. Second, parabolic wave.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, one doubt, sir, like in first order wave equation, sir, the b square minus 4ac, sir, 0, sir. It should be a
I'm not
parabolic.
able to hear you.
Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
Kapil.
Uh, Hello, sir.
Kapil, I'm not able to hear you. I can just listen you as a whispering kind of.
Sir, am I audible?
Okay.
Sir, my doubt is that, like, sir, in first order wave equation, sir, you said it is a hyperbolic, but sir, b square minus 4ac should be b square minus 4ac is 0, sir, in this case.
So how did you calculate b square minus 4ac?
Sir, the first order wave equation, the previous case you took like
You
tau equal to
in
t
the
equal to.
first cases we have shown you have given x and y as a variable. Okay. Now here you have to consider t and x as a variable. Accordingly, you consider a variation in Tn. So del square u del t square, it will have a coefficient a, and likewise. Okay, you write that equation and then you write b square minus 4ac, you will get that.
But sir, in
Okay.
first order equations are a, b, c, sir, whole three parameters are, sir, 0. So sir, how we should get that in?
No, the first order wave equation, we haven't shown it for first order wave equation. That generalized expression, which whatever generalized expression we have shown, that we have shown for second order PDs, right? That is applicable for second order PD. But this second order wave equation, that hyperbolic equation can be written as a two first order wave equations. Okay, so one equation already I have written in a positive this thing. The other equation you can write del u by del t uh, plus a del u by del x, like that. And another in another case it can be negative del u by del x. Like that you can express these two equations. Second order PD can be converted into two first order PDs.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank you, sir. Got it, sir.
yeah. So I just gave an example of first order PD, but the classification is valid for two second order. Hmm? Parabolic PD. The example is, so our unsteady conduction problem. So like alpha del square t del x square. So this is one of the example of the parabolic PD. 2t square minus 4ac you can check. That will come equal to. Now in this case, the solution. Okay, what is the type of solution? So in this cases, suppose you have a solution. Suppose you know some solution is or initial condition, given initial condition at t is equals to 0. This initial condition is given or initial solution is given. Then the solution will diffuse, okay, over the period of time. Okay, so it will show diffusion. Okay, now it has a sharp peak. It will lead to flatten. It will start flattening at any other time. So this is at t greater than any other t greater than t is equals to 0. So keep on increasing. This will be t plus delta t. Okay, this will be t plus again some delta t. So in the increasing order of time, the solution gets diffused. Diffused. Okay, the solution starts diffusing. So that is how this is called a diffusive type of solution. Okay, solution is diffusive. Okay. Suppose you have a solution like this, then it will smear of this sharp gradients at later time. So this is suppose that t is equals to 0. This will be at any t plus delta t. Similarly, it will start diffusing. So sharpness will start decreasing. At, so it shows the diffusive type of behavior. Okay. If you a heat transfer cases and solutions, if you go and revise, you will find this type. Okay. So now in these cases, how many time boundary conditions will be required? So if you see del t by del t is a first order time, so we need one initial condition and two boundary conditions because d2 by dt dx in x direction. So two boundary condition in x and one initial condition is required. Okay, so say we have this time like axis. So this is say this is time like axis and this is space axis, spatial direction, and we have left boundary and right boundary in x direction. We have to we need boundary conditions. We need to limit this x. So first limit, second limit. That is a boundary condition. So we specify in parabolic PDs. We specify BC here for all time. Okay, means here all. Okay, specify BC boundary condition. Here also we specify boundary condition. So in these parabolic cases, there is no characteristic coming. Okay, the way it used to come in case of elliptic. Okay, here there is no characteristic. Characteristic is only in time direction. Okay, there is one characteristic, but it is in only time. So there is no other like characteristic like the way were there in case of hyperbola. So we specify boundary condition at both locations. Okay. If you don't specify according to the order of this equation, then it won't work. Okay. And we specify initial conditions at t is equals to 0 everywhere on x domain. Then the question comes, what about this? Do we specify boundary conditions here? Can we specify boundary conditions here? No, BC. Okay. Can we specify boundary conditions here? Can we specify? We cannot specify boundary condition here. Okay. No, we cannot. Okay. Because it will violate the principle of causality. Okay. So whenever there is a cause, here there is a cause, effect should come in the next time. Whenever there is a cause, effect should come in the next time. If here is a cause, then the next time it should have an effect. So we do not know the effect unless, so you cannot specify the effect. So no boundary condition at any other time. So like this. Okay. So this boundary condition part is. In next class, we will see the elliptical PDEs, classification of elliptical PDEs, what boundary condition we put, and like that, what solution we get. And then we'll talk about solutions of Navier-Stokes equation. We'll continue with some other topic. Okay, thank you.